This video is brought to you in part by Zeal Sound and viewers like you. Thank you.
Yo, Speedy, clip this one.
Yo, what is the word? What is the word? What is the word? Speedy is in the building, back in the building, back in the back of the back of the building. Merry Christmas to everybody. 7:15 Christmas morning, you know what I'm saying? I got a lot to do today, man. I'm not even halfway done cooking. If you can't relate, learn how to cook, please. Help somebody in that kitchen. Anyways, we got Beasley responding to all things battle rap. You know what I'm saying? We're going to break this down in a few different parts. Let's see what bullshit Beasley gonna feed us today.
But, as time progressed, YouTube was slowing down the monetization. You notice you would see ads for Mercedes-Benz, you would see ads for Pepsi, you would see ads from like major corporations, and they had a higher CPM rate or an ad rate. Where a CPM, for those that don't know, is what you get paid for every 1,000 views that you accumulate. But as time progressed, there was this big ad apocalypse. So then they demonetized all of YouTube, and then they set all these regulations and guidelines. So when they came back, cursing and foul language fell under those guidelines. So we're looking and we're saying, look, we see that this is not going to be sustainable because battle rap is getting bigger. The MCs were requiring more money. We were going to different cities, states, and what was being generated just wasn't enough. We also said, what if we wake up one day and they just say no more battle rap?
I'm going to stop you right there, Bees. I'm going to stop you right there. I put out a tweet recently and I asked people what is going on with the decline of battle rap views. And a lot of the responses they said, and this is just the people talking, and I want to get your opinion on this. They were saying that the URL app existing and y'all no longer dropping battles on YouTube at the frequency that y'all did was the reason for the overall decline of views on YouTube. How do you feel about that?
I could see that possibly being a reason because we are the algorithm for battle rap. So, plus we put out the majority of the content. Like our output, like literally 7 to 8 times more than anyone else's. So I could see where that gap could kind of lead to a decline because if other people aren't putting out as much content, people are going online searching for it, and then they're just thinking that it doesn't exist anymore if they're not aware of the app. So that could be some of that could be true. Some of it also is just there being so many leagues, there's no real order anymore. Like everybody battles everywhere all the time at any time.
That's a fact.
Also kind of definitely hurts things. So it's a couple of things, but I think that over time things will level out, changes will come. You meet challenges in any form of business that you're in, and this is just one of the obstacles that we overcome as a culture.
Okay, so Beasley hates competition. He doesn't like the fact that he has to abide by certain rules. He literally just wants to do whatever he wants to do and he wants it to work out for him. Not even realizing that everybody battling everywhere at once all the time is because there's money in battle rap and people are going to go get that money. So if there's money in battle rap, you know what I'm saying? And competition helps any culture, any industry. What are you talking about? Fast food, all this, that, and the third. Like I'm saying, you want competition, stupid. You just want to be the only one. You want to have a monopoly over battle rap. But how do y'all feel about the decline in the views and all that? You know what I'm saying? I'm surprised Beasley didn't talk about bootlegging. Bootlegging hurt views more than anything. What are you talking about? You had 2,000 people in a Discord that paid $5. Sometimes they don't pay. They just get it for free. So when you got bootleg gang pulling over 20,000 people that could be paying $60 for these events, you know what I'm saying? You got to put something together. The fact that you're not talking about that you're trying to push some people that the culture don't want to see. We're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about the battles that you're putting on. We're not going to talk about the fact that you're a sellout. Like, come on, there's so much with URL that they do to themselves and they bring onto themselves, and then they just try to push the blame onto artists, other leagues. Like what? Like take some responsibility. Take some accountability, man. It's Christmas morning. I don't care about none of that. It's better at bullshit. We on all bullshit, man.
Okay, well, speaking of overcoming obstacles, do you feel like that decline in battle rap views due to the app, supposedly, does that hinder the growth of creating new superstars in battle rap? Because if they can't get those constant major YouTube drops, how do we develop new stars?
I don't agree with that because I've looked over the last couple of years, right? And there's a lot of people that do battles now, right? And they have access to YouTube. And, and I'm saying this in the most respectful way, but none of these platforms are creating stars. And when I mean stars, I don't mean that they are mega stars, but just people who have notoriety in the culture that could go on to be on a card that would be perceived as being big.
Okay, if that's what you describe as a star, then why are you scouting for literally the best talent amongst all of the smaller leagues? Like, a lot of URL's biggest stars came from other places. You're scouting other leagues that you're talking shit about. If you didn't have these leagues around, where would they be battling at to get noticed by the URL? You have to get noticed by the URL. So if you're the most respected MC in your region, then you have a chance to get seen by the URL and maybe they'll pick you up. But you're already a star at that point. If you're a star on a small scale and you have notoriety and enough of a fan base and attention to where the URL wants to book you and market you and push you, how are you not already a star? What are you talking about? Just because you're not mainstream all the way up with the, you mean, like, it's completely different being a star and then like being, I guess, top ticker. You can be a star at any given time. You can be a star as soon as you enter this. Like, what are you talking about? Man, a star is just if you shine bright. Are you bright? Do you have a bright future? Like, that's what being a star is. What are you talking about? Like, the way that this guy be trying to spend shit is so weird. And it's like, oh yeah, man, this is a big card. You have to be you have to be on a big card to be a star. What? There's only like 3 leagues then, if that's the case. But it's like there's stars that are not on these big leagues that are getting picked up by these big leagues that are getting chances and opportunities. Like what, man? The hatred, the hypocrisy, all of this. It's just like why? Why do you want to condescend to the very same people that you're looking to scout? Like I'm saying, like you all over the place. And it's gonna be an hour of this. You know what I'm saying? Who knows how long these episodes gonna be? Because I can just listen to 30 seconds of some dumb shit that Beasley said, and it's like, okay, now I got a 5-minute conversation for this. So we could be reacting to this for the next month, for all we know. You know what I'm saying? But how y'all feel about that? How do y'all feel about that? Beasley trying to spin all this on other people and trying to say, well, you ain't really nobody until you get on a big card. What? So K Venom, the entire Battle Academy, Trenches, like half a eye battle, a majority of We Go Hard, Bar You to Death. Those aren't star-studded leagues. Especially if you're looking at it in the essence. Like if you're somebody that watches every league, you're gonna know names like Pyrex Jones. You're gonna know names like Def the Kid. You're gonna know names like The Smoke of NY. You're gonna know these names, and they are loved amongst their community, which is why leagues like RBE and the URL be going to go and get them because they are stars. Like what the hell, bro? How you talking shit about the very same leagues that you use to get the talent from that you be talking shit about? Oh no, man, you ain't no star. You ain't no star. You ain't no star. But we gonna scout you, and then we gonna put you on the bottom of a big card, and now you a star. What's the boy named Capo Bravado? You gonna consider him a star? He was on a big card. Didn't he headline or something like that? I don't know. But that's who you calling a star? Capo Bravado? The nigga that kissed a bitch for a rebuttal? Y'all niggas tweaking.
Like all these years, we haven't seen anybody take a guy from 0 to 100. Now, of course, there's smaller platforms that the bigger leagues look to, and then they pull those guys up into their system, and then they build them up, and they put energy behind them. So of course, everybody comes from somewhere. There's a local league, and we need all the leagues to be able to find talent. So it's just like MMA or boxing. We go, we look, we scout, we find guys, we give them an audition, we put them out in front of the world, we take chances, and sometimes we get stars, and sometimes we get people that you don't like.
What do you mean? You go through all of this bullshit? Actually, no, these artists are doing this shit, okay? We not going to discredit these artists, act like these artists aren't putting on amazing performances, rapping like nobody's watching, you know what I'm saying? And then getting noticed by these bigger leagues because they're already stars. You don't say, okay, sometimes you get stars and sometimes you get people you don't like. No, you're going to push whoever you want to. Who asked for J2 to be on the URL? Who? And how much hate did you get for booking an artist like J2? Like, this the dumb shit that I'm talking about. Stop spinning this shit, because what the majority of the actual culture is talking about. You trying over here spinning this shit for the little 20% of the people to be dick riding the URL. It's not a bunch of people that's out here fans of the URL. No, it's really not. Y'all out here sharing fans. People that watch URL also watch RBE. There's only a small amount of people that only watch the URL. And they complaining too. So what? Like, the culture is in a specific way because of the things that these motherfuckers did. Because they weren't paying attention to the culture and looking and seeing and predicting the trajectory of the way this shit was going. They was like, you know what? YouTube. Hold on. Why would you sign a Netflix deal saying, okay, you can't talk about this, you can't talk about that, you can't talk about that, but then talk so much shit about YouTube? On YouTube, you could drop these battles and just have it in a contract. You can't talk about this, you can't talk about that, you can't talk about that. And then your CPM is going to be going up. What the fuck? Bro, we only 12 minutes in, and I'm going to just catch y'all on the flip, bro. Because how stupid, how idiotic, how much of a fucking dummy do you have to be trying to flip this shit like this, bro? Like, actually be real. Because the way that you saying it versus your actions in the past, then the way that you even got on the interview talking about something, man, I don't even really want to do this shit for a nigga. You a league owner. This is what you're supposed to do. You gotta deal with this shit. It's what comes with the territory. You fucking weirdos. This is the world's most respected. These are the number one niggas. Really? Are you fucking kidding me? I'm catch you on the flip. Appreciate everybody tapping in. Have a Merry Christmas.